Shalom, everybody. It's Rabbi E here with another edition of Rabbi E in 3. In fact, it's the first Rabbi E in 3 in 5773, the new Jewish year. The new Jewish year. Okay, welcome. Well, it's only a few hours before the onset of Sukkot, the Sukkos holiday, and I wanted to get in a quick little thought here. It's a beautiful holiday. Whether you're building your own sukkah, which is a great thing to do, you can probably still get a delivery from sukkah.com or something like that. That wasn't a plug, but there is such a website, and there are such websites. But even if you're not building your own sukkah, it's a wonderful time to try to find a sukkah, to sit in, to study in, to meet with friends in, to have a drink of wine in, or whatever you want to do. Sukkot is a unique holiday. Why? All of the holidays, the Torah tells us, are about joy, simcha. V'samachta v'chagecha, the Torah tells us, you shall rejoice with your chag, with your holiday. Every holiday is a meeting in time between us, the Jewish people, and God. It's a time when we feel God's ahava, His love for us. Whether it's Passover, Shavuos, or Sukkot, those are the three pilgrimage holidays, or Rosh Hashanah in its own way, but all the holidays are time of simcha. Of course, Shabbos is simcha as well, joy of connecting to God, of a closeness to God. But, having said that, Sukkot has an extra measure of simcha. The Torah says, you'll be thoroughly, only joyous, full of simcha on Sukkot. It sounds like it's not a commandment to be more joyous, but the essence of Sukkot is even more joyous than all the other holidays. Why? That's the answer. Why? Come on, 2 seconds. Okay, we don't have time. But there are a number of reasons, and it boils down to Sukkot is completion. It's actually completion in 3 different aspects. Whenever we bring something to completion, there's simcha, there's joy. Whenever we become more complete as human beings, there's joy. That's why when a man and a woman get married, that's the height of simcha. Why? Because there's completion. Each one was part of a soul, and now they're together, reunited to form the complete neshama, the complete soul. There's joy in completion. Well, Sukkot is 3 completions. Why? Every one of the pilgrimage festivals, Sukkot, Shavuot, and Pesach, have an aspect tied to the agricultural cycle. We're a little bit not as connected to that nowadays, it's true, but Sukkot is the ingathering of the summer harvest. That's certainly a time of completion, a time of great joy. All your labors of the planting and the plowing and the harvesting, you bring in your fruits before the rainy season, and that's a time of the joyousness of your efforts having come to fruition. So there's joy there in that completion. But every aspect of the agricultural cycle in the old days had joy. The first fruits in the summer, the ripening of the crops in the spring. So everything is the first wheat, I should say, in the spring. It's all joyous. Yeah, maybe there's an extra measure of joy in completion. But that alone doesn't explain why the Torah says, Ach Sameach, only joyous. Another completion. And that is, it comes at the end of a different cycle. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. 5 days after Rosh Hashanah, 5 days after Yom Kippur, our souls are cleansed. We're a new being, a new bria, a new creation. Our transgressions have been wiped away, blotted out. The purity, the beauty of feeling that closeness, which I know we all feel. Those who went through Yom Kippur sincerely did tshuva, turned back. We're returned. We're returned more to our own personal completion and more of a completion in our connection to God. That's the second aspect of completion, joy. And the third is actually, every one of the pilgrimage festivals has a connection to every holiday has a connection to our Jewish history. Pesach, we left Egypt. Shavuot, we got the Torah. What does Sukkot signify? Sukkah signify? Well, the Torah tells us we dwelt in booths when God took us out of the land of Egypt. And that means physical booths, but in the desert for all the time we were there, but we were also surrounded on all sides by ananei kavod, clouds of glory, miraculous clouds that paved the way for us, led the way, paved the way as we traveled in the desert. They were hermetically sealed, air-conditioned, climate controlled. We were protected from the elements. The glorious sense of God's protection, that's what Sukkot especially symbolizes. Now, getting the Torah is joyous, and getting out of Egypt is joyous, but being enveloped with Hashem's protection, that's bitachon, a sense of trust in God. That's the completion, you might say, of our covenant with God. We got the Torah, we left Egypt, got the Torah, and now we travel with God in the desert and throughout our lives, throughout the diaspora, and so on, with God's protection with us. Sometimes easier to perceive, sometimes harder, but anyone who looks at Jewish history dispassionately sees it's not normal. God's presence and providence, His providence, I should say, has been with us throughout our history. We're still alive today. It's triple joy, guys. Completion all around. Sukkos, Chag Sameach. Have a wonderful Sukkot. Feel the if you go to a sukkah, we're supposed to have in mind that we were reliving the Ananiya Kavod, the clouds of glory. Whatever you do in the sukkah, it elevates that act. You're not supposed to go to the bathroom in there. Everything else you do, and it elevates it. Learn Torah in the sukkah. Say beautiful things. Don't say bad things. But if you're going to read a paper, read it in the sukkah. If you're going to watch the debates Wednesday night, hey, first debate, watch it in the sukkah if you can. Whatever it is, the sukkah elevates and sanctifies. Have a wonderful holiday. Sorry I went over. We really are going to be Rabbi in 57, 73. But Sukkot is like double, man. It's triple. Have a good Sukkot. Oh yeah.